Have you ever felt an invisible presence lurking behind you, even when you're alone? What if one night, that presence decided to show itself in the most terrifying way imaginable? Tonight, I share with you a story that an internet user once bravely recounted. A night they'll never forget.
It started on a cold, windless evening. The moon hung low, casting a pale glow through the thin curtains of a dimly lit room. The house was quiet, wrapped in an eerie stillness that seemed almost unnatural. The user, a college student living alone for the first time, was up late studying for an exam. The only sounds were the occasional rustling of papers and the soft ticking of the clock. Suddenly, a faint tap-tap-tap echoed from the window. The user paused, heart quickening. Outside, the world was cloaked in darkness. With a deep breath, they dismissed it as a branch swaying in the wind, but there was no wind. The tapping grew louder, more insistent. It was rhythmic, deliberate, as if someone or something was trying to get their attention. Gathering the courage to look, they pulled back the curtain. Nothing, just the empty yard bathed in moonlight. As they turned back to their desk, a chill ran down their spine. A sudden, suffocating feeling of being watched crept over them. It felt like invisible eyes pierced through the room. The tapping returned, this time coming from the other side of the house. Their throat tightened as an uneasy realization dawned. Whatever it was moving. They sat frozen, listening. A faint scratching sound started from the hallway, growing closer, louder. The room temperature dropped, and their breath became visible in the icy air. The scratching stopped, and silence engulfed the house. Seconds felt like hours. Then a low, guttural whisper sliced through the silence. It was incomprehensible but filled with a sinister intent. The user's body went rigid with fear. Their eyes darted to the shadowy corner of the room where the whisper seemed to come from. The darkness shifted, as if it were alive. A shape began to form in the gloom. Not fully visible, yet undeniably there. It was tall, humanoid, but with elongated limbs that didn't belong in the realm of the living. Its eyes glowed a dim, sickly yellow, fixed on the user with an otherworldly intensity. Panic surged, but their body refused to move. A weight pressed down on their chest as if unseen hands were holding them in place. The whispers intensified, now mingled with a sound like distant laughter, cold and mocking. The shape stepped forward, its movement slow and deliberate. The room pulsed with an unnatural energy, suffocating and inescapable. In a final desperate act, the user squeezed their eyes shut, silently begging for it to be over. The whispers ceased. The room fell into an oppressive silence once more. A sudden, sharp knock shattered the stillness. Eyes wide, the user found themselves staring at the window, where a single, translucent handprint marred the glass from the outside. A handprint far too large to be human. The user never stayed in that house again. To this day, they claim that whatever visited them that night was not bound by the laws of this world, a shadow that still waits beyond the window, tapping and whispering, longing for someone to hear it. And so, the next time you hear a tapping at your window in the dead of night, think twice before you look. Some shadows are more than they seem, and once they find you, they may never truly leave.